Okay, I'm a professionally trained chef, but my most eaten meal is definitely scrambled eggs. Now, there's a massive difference between good and bad scrambled eggs. I'm going to show you exactly how to make really good ones. Crack your eggs, and then you want to whisk it really, really well. So you want to whisk it until you have no egg white separation. So right now you can see that the egg white, you can still see it's kind of gloopy. When you whisk it properly, it'll be completely homogeneous, and this means that you won't get any streaks of white in your scrambled eggs. Now, my biggest tip is to add like a splash of water, about a tablespoon. When you cook the eggs, the water turns into steam, which then makes your scrambled eggs super fluffy and light. Some people like using cream or milk. I don't really like that because then you get that kind of cooked dairy taste in your eggs, and it just never really appealed to me. And a good amount of salt. People always under salt their eggs. And again, controversial whether you put it in before, after, during. I always put it in before because I always taste my egg mixture. And that way it just tastes like egg, but you can tell if you need more salt or not. And then it's always perfect. I've never found that it makes the eggs watery or rubbery or anything like that. Obviously, you don't have to taste the eggs, but once you get to that like first mental barrier, it's actually totally okay. In the UK, it's very safe to do this. If the eggs have a red lion stamp on it, the chances of salmonella are like literally close to zero. Obviously, use your own discretion. If you're sick, immunocompromised, pregnant, very elderly, child, maybe don't do it. I almost always put cheese on my scrambled eggs at the very end. I picked up this really gorgeous creamy gorgonzola. It's quite funky. It is a blue cheese. That creaminess will just like add the most wonderful creaminess. When you're cooking eggs, you always want to do it over a low heat, especially for scrambled eggs. When eggs come in contact with heat, it releases a gas like hydrogen sulfide because it has a lot of sulfur compounds, and that gives it that sort of eggy, rubbery, sulfur kind of taste, the rotten egg smell that people really don't like. So if you don't like eggs because of that, it's probably because you're overcooking your eggs. I always use butter when I make scrambled eggs, specifically Kerrygold salted. It's my favorite. Straight into the pan. And the way you move your scrambled eggs is going to determine what they look like and the texture. So if you like big folds of scrambled egg, you're going to move your spatula like this. Large movements that give you large folds of eggs. If you like scrambled eggs that are very like soft curds, not like big folds, then you're going to move your spatula like that around the eggs. So on the outside of the egg, you're going to see that it starts looking opaque. That means that the egg is cooking. You kind of pull in those cooked parts and you allow the raw egg to kind of flood in wherever you're moving the spatula, and this gives you large folds of egg. And when the egg is kind of set halfway, that's what I like adding in my cheese, like a teaspoon of it. When it's like 90% of the way there, I turn the heat off, and the residual heat from the pan, because you can see the pan is still steaming, is gonna finish cooking the eggs. My lovely soft scrambled eggs. I like chili flakes at the very end. Some pickled shallots. I love putting pickled stuff on eggs. Cuts through the creaminess. And then a few sprigs of dill. So pretty. Wow. It's like wonderfully rich, creamy, nice funkiness from that gorgonzola. It only took me 5 minutes. Never feel like an ingredient is too simple to make something really nice for yourself.